ready when you are, ma'am.
Okay, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so it's my pleasure to welcome you here today and to thank you all for coming out to show your support for our shared efforts to legalize beekeeping in New York City. As you already know, beekeeping, the vital practice of managing and maintaining honeybee colonies for pollination and honey production, is a banned practice in New York City. This ban is outdated and detrimental to the health and well-being of our urban environment and our community. At Just Food, we work to make fresh, local, sustainably grown food more available and accessible in all 5 boroughs of New York City. And we work hard to make sure that this food is available even in the lower income neighborhoods where good food is hard to find and even harder to afford. And we support the urban and rural farmers who are producing and providing that food. City beekeepers are the unsung heroes of this effort. They work to make urban gardens and farms more productive spaces for growing food, increase access to local honey, which many urban residents turn to relieve seasonal allergies, as an alternative to processed refined sweeteners. It generates a new source of revenue and entrepreneurial activity and provides an exciting and engaging educational resource for New York City school children. This work is vital, yet our beekeepers do it at their own peril. I am thrilled to stand here today in the company of New York City's champions for urban bees and their keepers. Councilman David Yassky, who introduced a bill in January that would override our outdated health code and make beekeeping legal in New York City. This bill needs our support, and I encourage you to call your city council representative today and encourage them to support Councilman Yassky's bill today. Manhattan Borough President Scott Stringer, who has taken on good food access and sustainability issues in a tremendous way in New York City, and he's doing great work to increase access to fresh, local, nutritious food for all New York City residents. In addition, we're grateful to have 2 representatives from the New York City urban beekeeping community, Deborah Romano, a backyard beekeeper who has a real vested interest in this legislation, and Deborah Greiger of East New York Farms, where beekeeping programming is an essential component of their economic development and youth education work. Together with these political and community allies, we hope to help New York City join the ranks of Chicago, Atlanta, San Francisco, Seattle, Minneapolis, Denver, and other great cities around the country and around the globe where beekeeping is safe, legal, and contributing to community health and sustainability. If they can do it on the White House lawn, we can do it here too. Right. Thank you very much for coming.
Go ahead. All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank Just Food for all of their tremendous work on sustainable food production, on small-scale local food production that connects New Yorkers to the food that nourishes and sustains us. And if we are serious about a sustainable city, a sustainable economy, about greening New York City, then we do it in every little piece of the puzzle. And encouraging beekeeping in New York City, permitting beekeeping in New York City, that's not the whole thing in itself, but it's an important piece of it. And there's simply no reason not to permit. I will tell you, when I first learned about this issue from a woman who in my district who came to me at a neighborhood meeting and said, I would like to have a beehive on my roof. I did when I lived in San Francisco, and I would like to do it here, but it's against the law. My first reaction was, well, I don't know, you don't want bees buzzing around in New York, somebody gets stung. When you learn about it, you realize, you learn that it is wholly safe. If it is done properly by people who know what they're doing, it's a safe practice, and it is one that connects New Yorkers and kids growing up in the city to nature. And when you have bees, they need a place to pollinate, so it means it encourages a whole completely greener city. And I just want to thank Just Food for all the work that they have done. I particularly want to thank the Borough President, who's taken on the much broader agenda. For those of you who have not yet seen his cookbook, Organic Foods, or his Fresh Foods Cookbook. What's it called, Mr. Borough President?
Go Green East Harlem.
Go Green East Harlem. I will tell you, I give it 4 stars. So I encourage everybody to go out, get it, and make some of the recipes yourselves. Thank you, and are you introducing the Borough President? Or here he comes. He needs no introduction.
Thank you.
This man needs no introduction.
Thank you very much. First of all, round of applause for David Jacqui, who always thinks about creative ways to help our city. And thank you for giving us some buzz on our cookbook. But the reason I'm here today is to support the Yassky bill, and there's some very serious reasons why. Bees create a healthy environment and a healthy city. Bees allow us to create a green economy, production of honey, the fact that we have an opportunity to think out of the box or get out of the hornet's nest, so to speak, and legalize bees is a way of creating the sustainable city David Yassky talks about. There are 225 bee species living in New York. There's 170 languages spoken in this city. We are as diverse a city as any other. And yet we continue to lag, always one step behind other great cities in moving the sustainability of our people. So here we have a wonderful opportunity to do what other great cities have done. Legalize bees, allow for honey production, whether it's on a tiny rooftop or a small garden, and build the sustainability movement bee by bee, right? Species by species. And do something that's going to create a real food production shed, a real food shed, and put people to work and do it in a healthy and environmental way. You could trivialize this, but it would be a great mistake, because the reality is the beehives actually create longer life for the rest of us and give us an opportunity to really help our people. And sometimes you just have to step up with a sensible piece of legislation and legalize something that probably should have been done a long time ago. Create safety nets, which are already in place, and let's get on with this. So today's message: support the Yassky bill, free the bees, create honey, create jobs, protect our environment, and let's create a real buzz on what is now going to be the new movement. Thank you very much.
All right! Woo!
We're happy. Let me just say, my name is spelled Stringer, not Stinger. Okay?
Our next speaker is Deborah Romano, and she's a backyard beekeeper, as I said earlier, and she's facing a citation for her hive. She's already removed it, but she's facing, can I say how much? She's facing up to a $2,000 fine, and her hearing is today. So that's why this press conference is happening today, to call attention to how important this work is. And we really thank you, with everything that Deborah's got going on today, we really thank you for coming out and speaking about your experiences in beekeeping. Thank you.
Yay, Deborah.
Hi, I am a brand new beekeeper, a 10-week-old beekeeper. So I didn't expect to be standing here at a press conference, you know, after taking a course in March from the New York City Beekeepers Association. So I'm going to read something. When I started this project, I knew it would be fun, but I didn't expect it to be quite so dramatic. Last month, one of my backyard neighbors in Park Slope made an anonymous complaint to the health department that I was harboring bees. And I don't know why they did it, but my guess is that it was probably a combination of ignorance and fear. They didn't understand how vital bees are to our very existence on the planet and to a more livable existence in New York City. And they probably didn't realize that honeybees and other pollinating insects are more endangered than dangerous. I can understand it. When you see so many bees landing and launching out of a hive, like the shuttle from LaGuardia, it can be a little scary if you don't know what's going on. I'm hoping that Pollinator Week will help to correct some of these kinds of misconceptions about bees, and that David Yassky's bill calling for the licensing of beekeepers will offer a measure of reassurance to people like my worried neighbors. And I'm also encouraged by the fact that the health department is taking another look at the section of the health code that bans beekeeping, along with keeping other striped creatures like tigers. In my own defense, I'd like to say that when I started this project, I didn't think about the legality of beekeeping too much as the good company I would be keeping with the bees and other beekeepers. Humans have been managing honeybees for millennia,